Gosh, I love this music. Hearts rising. Good morning, YouTube. I was talking to my TikTok friends. I always go live with them a little bit earlier because that's the way I roll. Boy, this is a good one. Welcome back. Trigger, activate, ignite. Today I want to talk about the moment everything begins changing. The moment you stop waiting for permission to heal. Oh, permission to rest. I know people out there that struggle with that permission to rest. I do too. Permission to change, permission to grow, permission to take up space, permission to become fully yourself. Because honestly, so many people spend years waiting to feel worthy enough. Oh, waiting to feel confident enough, waiting for approval, waiting for validation, waiting for someone else to finally tell them you're enough now. And while they wait, life keeps moving. I think many people were conditioned very early to perform for acceptance. Like, how young did that begin? Be good, be agreeable. Oh my God, that was my childhood programming. Be productive. Yeah, that one too. Be dependable. Eh. Don't disappoint people. Don't be too emotional. Don't be too loud. Don't take up too much space. And somewhere along the way, many people disconnected from their own inner knowing, trying to become who everyone else expected them to be. Who out there can agree with this? Like, hello? And honestly, that becomes exhausting. So many people are waiting for someone else to choose them before they choose themselves, waiting for the opportunity, relationship, promotion, recognition, perfect timing, confidence. But life keeps marching on while people wait for permission. Permission slips that may never come. And eventually, something inside becomes whispering, there has to be more than this. There has to be more than this. Sometimes life triggers awakening through pain, burnout, heartbreak, grief, exhaustion, disappointment, loss, or simply the realization that the old version of you cannot continue surviving the same way anymore. And honestly, Those moments can feel devastating. Yeah. But they can also become transformational because pain often reveals what misalignment was hiding. And eventually, awareness activates something. You begin realizing you cannot keep abandoning yourself for belonging. You cannot keep betraying your own needs to try to maintain approval. You cannot keep shrinking yourself to make everyone else comfortable. And honestly, that realization changes everything because the moment you start outsourcing your worth, you begin reclaiming your power. But I also think this is where the nervous system matters deeply because authenticity can feel unsafe at first, especially if love, acceptance, or belonging were once connected to performance, people pleasing, caretaking, overachieving, suppressing your emotions, suppressing your voice. The nervous system learns adaptation for survival. So when people finally begin speaking honestly, setting boundaries, resting, being visible, choosing themselves, the nervous system may initially panic. Not because it's wrong, because it's unfamiliar. And honestly, learning to trust yourself again is part of healing. Trusting your intuition, trusting your boundaries, trusting your body, trusting your truth, even when not everyone understands it. Because people often spend years seeking external validation when ignoring their own inner knowing completely. I think many people are exhausted from performing versions of themselves that no longer fit. The endless strong one, the endless available one, the endlessly productive one, the endlessly agreeable one. And eventually the soul gets tired. The nervous system gets tired. The body gets tired. Because permission is exhausting when it's disconnecting you from yourself. But then, the ignition point, the moment where truth becomes stronger than fear, the moment where peace matters more than performance. And once people experience alignment, real alignment, it becomes very difficult to keep abandoning themselves the same way because authenticity feels different. Freedom feels different. Truth feels different. And honestly, that's where real transformation begins. So maybe today's invitation is this: stop waiting for permission to become who you really are. You do not need permission to heal, rest, speak, create, change, take up space. Choose yourself. You only need willingness. So if something inside you has been whispering, begin. Speak, rest, leave, create, grow, choose yourself. Maybe it's time to listen because freedom may begin the moment you stop waiting for someone else to choose you and finally choose yourself. Trigger. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that one. See, as a recovering addict, the word trigger doesn't resonate with me. Because what do you think of when you think of the word trigger? For me, it's a gun. And there's a negative connotation to that for me. Hey, it may work for you. It's all about you, right? I prefer the word activate. If you think of a chemical reaction, that's an activation. Hmm? So when you pour two ingredients together, you get an activation. Pour cypress and geranium together, two essential oils, you get an activation. Add lye, Lye, to water, there's an activation. Add water to lie, there's a different activation. It's chemistry. And then there's ignite. It's that firecracker. Different energies, right? So when you think about your own life, perhaps your own recovery, and finally choosing yourself, because freedom may begin the moment you stop waiting for someone else to choose you. Maybe it's time to listen. Choose yourself. Choose joy. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a blast. Peace out.